interesting to see how the Swifts team cope with the New Zealand umpires. It's always a bit of a battle.
Temepara George gets us underway. It's a crucial round 11 match in the ANZ Championships. It's the Mystics at home to the Swifts. And it's with Larissa Wilcox to bring it through court.
It's quite difficult just with the colours of these teams. So just remember at home, the Mystics have the more blue in the uniform. The Swifts, the red. But could be a bit of a problem for the teams as well when they look alike like that.
Well, they tried to go over to Latu quickly, but the long arms of McCloma got in the way and she pulled off the early turnover for the Swifts. An early lesson perhaps for the Mystics. Pratley, a nice start. Kimberly Green's the centre for the Swifts. We've talked about that matchup between Green and Temepara George today. There's Cox.
Well, she likes that movement in the circle, so that's what we'll see from the Swifts side. We don't see a holding shooter. We see a lot of movement between Pratley and Cox. That time not paying off for them, so a chance for the Mystics to pull one back.
Oh, Maria Tutaia with the early miss, but Catherine Latu's there to pick up the offensive rebound. She sits quite high in the statistics for the competition, and that third on the offensive rebound list, and she's hauled one in there.
Yes, she's very strong on them, an area that Tutaia could pick up in her game.
Tutaia probably a player under a bit of pressure this weekend after a poorish game against the Pulse a couple of weeks ago, the Silver Fern shooter.
Yeah, very quiet game from her, wasn't it, that time? You've got to understand, though, she does shoot a lot from distance, Tutaia, so you can understand that her shooting stats may be slightly less than that of Latu's, which they are, of course. Latu likes to shoot from right under the goal. Cox, another one that doesn't mind it from distance. And got a lovely action, hasn't she? She always looks so relaxed on her shot.
Well, the mistake comes from the Mystics. So they Swifts will have an opportunity. A couple of early turnovers from these teams, a lot at stake. Pratley comes out to do some work bringing the ball through.
I think more on the shoulder of the Swifts and the fact that they haven't lost a game all season, so they certainly won't want to drop one, but a lot on the Mystics in the sense that it's must-win for them.
There's an expectation perhaps that the Swifts are due for a defeat. And there is that lovely action of Catherine Cox again. She's had a few wobbles throughout the season with the shooting stats, but generally relatively steady. She's got away from Althea Byfield there.
But still only shooting in the 70s. But as we say, she does do a lot of those, take a lot of those shots from distance.
So the Swifts with an early lead and another intercept, but just a foot out of court, was it from Kimberly Smith? So Tutaia, she's had a couple of errors early on, and Bully nearly got a hand to that one.
Oh, lovely feed. Good work, Latu. She had McCloma on her back, left a lovely area for that ball to be placed right in under the goal.
And of course, Catherine Latu, coached by Julie Fitzgerald, the Swifts coach when she turned out for the World 7 last year, so maybe a little insider knowledge.
Very quick shot as well, Cox. She doesn't really give the defence time to set up over the shot, so I'd like to see the defenders a little quicker on that.
Pass goes astray from Latu, and McCloma picks up the scraps, and the Swifts race down court. They really are quick through there. That's with Pratley.
And that's the danger when they get that speed going through court. The Swifts are very dangerous.
Well, they've jumped out to an early lead, the Swifts. Less than 5 minutes gone, and the advantage is 3, the chance to make it 4. But a turnover comes.
Footwork. So just a bit sloppy with the ball in hand.
Oh, Wilcox puts George under pressure.
Taken out of court by the Swifts player, though, so Mystics let off the hook. As you said, this is going to be a really good fight in the mid-court with George and Green.
Yes, you get the feeling you might see them on the floor a few times this afternoon. There's Latu moving nicely. Just steadies herself, rolls it in over the long arms of McCloma. Oh, the call goes against Tutayer. The contact into Bully. Bully milked it well, and Tutayer's had a shaky start. Cox rolls it across court and straight into the arms of Byfield.
Good work, Byfield. Stayed in front of Cox.
Oh, a pass into Catherine Latu. Quite outstanding. She plucked that out of thin air, Catherine Latu. I think the pass came from George, did it?
Yes, straight through the mid. Quickest way to the goal. There it is. She looks for it. And I think that's what a lot of teams haven't been doing in the game. They haven't been looking into the circle. I feel a lot of the game is being played across court instead of down, so that's great skill from the Mystics.
Yeah, the ball was in Latu's hands before McClomber had realised it had passed her. Another little tip to it.
And this is where the Swifts are very good. They're very quick on that transition ball, you know, to get up, hands over the ball and put pressure on it. That 3-foot guard, 0.9 of a metre guard. They're strong on that, the Swifts.
Latu balanced herself nicely as she was almost tipped out of court, managed to get the ball in, and there's the longer ball again into Latu, this time from Henry. Tutayer comes up short, but once again, Catherine Latu. Oh, and then misses with the easy one.
Yes, she had great position for the rebound, but just not enough on it, on the shot. Well, they'll get away with it again, the Mystics, so mistakes are plenty from both sides early on.
Well, you can certainly feel the intensity already and the pressure that these teams are feeling under. Some of these errors have been given some chances, the Mystics. Tutayer will have another one.
This time.
Great minds.
Lots of instruction from the assistant coach and coach of the Mystic side.
Seattle Hakinen's usually the quieter of the two, and Deb Fuller's the commandant at times.
That was beautiful timing from Prattley. Late tackle from the Mystics.
Prattley's very quick along that baseline. So the Mystics having to work it back through Henry. Green thought she'd got away with another one there.
Yes, there's been some great work, hasn't there, throughout the competition of teams really putting that pressure on in the mid and forcing the ball to go back before it goes forward.
Tutayer forced to shoot long, and she does so and makes it. So the gap is just one. It's the Swift centre pass, though. They use Bully to come through court this time. And Prattley has to go searching in the mid-court.
Cox waits patiently in the back. You can see it. Just waits for that time, you know, when they're ready to look for her. Doesn't waste any energy.
74 international caps, Catherine Cox. She knows every trick in the book.
Oops, misunderstanding.
Henry throws it away and now has to race back on defence, and Wilcox almost grabs it back for the Mystics, and she gets a hand in the way, Henry. But slow to get back into the circle, though. The Swift shooters, Cox in particular, started strongly. And that gap back out to 3 now. It's swung already a number of times in this first quarter. Green.
That's where they don't want Green, hitting the edge of the circle like that. Too easy for the feed.